There is one big drawback for me in both the products. In this video, I'm going to compare the Cerave SA Lotion and the Cerave SA Cream. Hello everyone. This is going to be a very short video because there's not much of a difference between these two products except for the texture. Texture is where the main difference is. One is a cream, so it's going to have a thicker feel. One is a lotion, so it's going to be much more lightweight than the cream. Some might not like creams because they're very heavy. Some might not like lotion because it feels very lightweight. So that's the only thing you would need to consider when you're looking at these two products. Both the products use ammonium lactate. Ammonium lactate is derivative of lactic acid. Lactic acid belongs to a class of exfoliating ingredients called alpha hydroxy acids, which are also called AHAs. The bumps and the roughness is usually accumulation of old cells on the skin. Now you see, old cells have to fall off regularly and make way for the newer and the younger cells from the deeper layers of the skin. These newer and the younger cells from the deeper layers of the skin will have to come up to the visible layer and replace these old cells. But some of these old cells are very stubborn. They refuse to fall off. Instead, they all just get together, have a party, form long chain bonds between themselves and stay together, and that's how all this rough and the bumps and all that textured skin arises. And this kind of old cells not falling off is much more common when you've got dry skin than other skin types. Now all skin types need exfoliation, but more of these old cells stay back and don't fall off in dry skin. What lactic acid does is it goes in there and gently breaks the bonds between these old cells. By breaking the bonds between these old cells, they all get separated and then they can fall off easily. Lactic acid is a very powerful ingredient. Apart from exfoliating, it also increases the hydration in the skin and also boosts the production of something called ceramides. Now ceramides is needed for the skin for its barrier function. You see, the top layer of the skin acts as a barrier. It acts as a shield. It acts as a shield and prevents water from the deeper layers of the skin from evaporating into the environment, and also protects the skin from attacks from the environmental nasties, and thus it keeps the skin hydrated and prevents breakouts on the skin. So ceramides play a very important role in helping the skin do its barrier function. So lactic acid can boost the production of ceramides, so that's a good thing. So lactic acid is a multifunctional ingredient, but its main function is to exfoliate the skin. This product, the Cerave, both the cream and the lotion, has another exfoliating ingredient called salicylic acid. Now what salicylic acid does is it scoops inside and gets rid of some of those old cells. See, lactic acid works on the visible area, but sometimes that's not enough. Some of these old cells get a bit deeper and they clog around the hair follicle and the pores. So what salicylic acid does is it does an extra job. It goes inside and scoops everything out, just like an ice cream scoop, and gets rid of all those old cells. So it's basically effectively cleansing that whole area. Humectants are water magnets. They bind themselves to water molecules, bring all that hydration from the atmosphere to the skin, and thus keep the skin hydrated. And that's a good thing because this roughness and bumps is usually very common in dry skin, and dry skin is usually lacking water. So adding hydration to the skin is a good thing. The two humectants in both these products are glycerin and hydrolyzed hyaluronic acid. Both the products have got mineral oil in them. This is a very powerful ingredient. Mineral oil forms a layer on top of the skin and prevents water from evaporating from the deeper layers of the skin into the environment. It acts as a barrier, it acts as a shield, and it does a very good job of acting as a barrier and a shield. Both the products are both exfoliating and moisturizing. Exfoliating because it's getting rid of all those dead, stubborn, old cells. Moisturizing because it is helping the skin retain the moisture that it already has. It does that with the help of the humectants and also with the help of the mineral oil. Now the cream has niacinamide in it. Niacinamide boosts the production of ceramides, and ceramides are always good because they help strengthen the skin's barrier function. The lotion doesn't have niacinamide in it, but I'm not going to get overly carried away with it. That's okay. Not having niacinamide in this particular product is not a huge drawback, because you see, both these products are meant to relieve the skin of the roughness and the bumps. They are not meant to strengthen the skin barrier. They might have a couple of ingredients here and there, like ceramides. There's a group of ceramides listed in the ingredient list which can help strengthen the skin barrier. Lactic acid can boost the production of ceramides and further strengthen the skin barrier. But that's not the primary function of both these products. The primary benefit is to relieve the skin of the roughness and the bumps, to strengthen the skin barrier, to treat the dry skin, because dry skin is the skin which has got a very weak skin barrier. To strengthen the skin barrier and to fix the dry skin, you need different other kinds of skin products. These are not the products. These two are not the products if it comes to fixing the dry skin and to strengthen the skin barrier. So not having niacinamide in the lotion is not a huge drawback. So I'm going to just turn a blind eye towards it and say, if I'm after a lightweight product, I would just go for the lotion. Not having niacinamide is not going to hold me back. There is one big drawback for me in both the products, that is, it doesn't mention the percentage of lactic acid used in them. So I do need the percentage to say how effective it would be in relieving the skin of the bumps and the roughness. I'm going to take an educated guess and say it's less than 10%. Around 10% lactic acid is what's needed for it to function effectively and get rid of those bumps. I'm saying less than 10% because I don't think the product would use more than 10% salicylic acid in it, and lactic acid, the ammonium lactate, is listed below salicylic acid, and so it has to be less than 10%. And salicylic acid, I think the amount of salicylic acid used in here is around 5%. If it was using anything more than that, I would think the product's label would mention that, because that's a high amount and it can irritate the skin. So it would just mention that. So having said that, if you've got sensitive skin, or if your skin gets easily irritated by chemical exfoliants, you just want a chemical exfoliant but not with huge percentages, maybe Cerave lotion or the cream, depending on what kind of texture you're after, is the product for you. Don't use it on the face. Both the products should not be used on the face. It's mainly for the legs and the arms and the hands and anywhere that you have this roughness and the bumps, except on the face. SA in the product label stands for salicylic acid. If you liked this video, please give it a like and do subscribe to the channel. It'll really help me a lot. That's it for now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I do have an email newsletter where I share bite-sized skincare tips. It won't take you long to read, 3 to 4 minutes, but the tips would be super duper useful. If you would like to go on the list, I will leave a link to that in the description below.